She talks. She listens. She cares. She's Joyce Oglesby. In today's ever-changing world, Joyce takes on the hottest issues. She fights for what's right in America.
I wanna leave a legacy. How will they remember me?
Just Ask Joyce is brought to you by Guaranteed Total Construction, Window World, Nan's and Crafts Florists, Squire Boone Caverns, and About Face Spa and Salon. Now, just ask Joyce.
And leave that kind of legacy.
And welcome to Just Ask Joyce. I'm Joyce Oglesby, your Family Life Fix-It Pro, getting you fit for life and love every day God's way. Welcome to the Christmas edition of Just Ask Joyce. I'm kind of excited about today's show because number one, I'll do number two first. I have red lips today. I like wearing red lips, and I don't do that very much because, you know, they're just kind of sassy. And my mama always said, don't wear red for some reason, and it's my favorite color. So anyway, but I'm donning red lips. Are they kissable, baby?
Oh, they really are.
All right. And the number one reason I'm excited about the show is because I have my mainstay here with me, Webby Oglesby, or Webster, Webby for short, who is the pastor at Lincoln Hills Christian Church. Mm-hmm. He's my husband and the father to our two daughters and our grandfather to our six grandkids. Six grandkids.
We had a house full at Thanksgiving, let me tell you.
We do. Or we did.
Yeah, we did.
Anyway, but
now it's Christmas.
Now it's Christmas, and that is going to be the direction of the show today. We're going to talk about Christmas. But you know what? When we were talking about what we were going to talk about on Just Ask Joyce, I'm like, I just want to talk about Christmas changes.
Oh, there's been a lot, too.
There have been a lot of changes, you know, and every year I'm waiting, all right, so what's going to be next that they object to? And, you know, every year it seems like they carve a little bit more of Jesus out of Christmas season. And that's been coming for some decades now. It's not, this just didn't happen overnight.
Now, who do you mean by they?
Well, the culture, society, people, you know, the complainers, the ones offended. And of course, the most recent offense is, you know, I saw the sign the other day, or on television they showed it, the sign that says, give the perfect gift. And of course, it's, you know, Jesus and Mary on the donkey. Mary's on the donkey. I mean, Joseph and Mary. And, you know, of course, they're going to the star in Bethlehem, you know, it's out there. But so, and that, for some reason, of course, it points to the birth of Jesus Christ, our Savior. And the reason that Christmas is even a holiday, we've made it a holiday, but the reason it's a season for, anyway. But we want to slice him out every year, and it's happening. Whether we like it or not, it's happening.
Yeah, the culture's changed a lot because traditionally Christmas is about Jesus' birth, but it's become so commercialized, and it's taken on this secular event now, almost all the way. In fact, there's some statistics about that.
I have some I'm going to share.
We did a little research to find out exactly what had changed in the Christmas tradition, and we found a lot. Well,
we did, and I'm going to give credit to Pew Research Center, who did a survey. And it's a fascinating article if you have some time. I mean, I just have 3 pages of it. There's a stack
I just Googled it, and it was easy to find. But
it's fascinating. And, of course, they say 9 in 10 Americans say they celebrate Christmas. But here's the thing. 3/4 say they believe in the virgin birth. You know, 9 out of 10 celebrate, but only 3/4 believe in the virgin birth, which is, again, the reason for the season. But that, to me, that's alarming. And I'm like, okay, so why are we losing that persona of Christmas?
Well, a lot of it has to do with secular humanism, which has made a big change all the way through our culture, and the fact that we've gotten away from the fact that we are a Christian nation. We have a lot of people that don't believe we have a Christian nation, and so the issues are that when you start to pull God out of everything, and you said it many times, Joyce, in your in your talks about Madeline Murray O'Hare way back there, who wanted prayer out of the schools. And I remember in grammar school, we prayed. We prayed almost every day, and we did the Pledge of Allegiance, and that's really a problem to people now. So there's changes, but Jesus, his birth is a real reason for Christmas. That's what we're celebrating. And yet, it's more of a commercial thing. I mean, these statistics are awesome when you think about it.
They're alarming.
Well, yeah.
They really are. Here's the thing. I know they talk about holiday activities and how the percentages have changed from childhood to the present day. And one of them, attends a gathering with extended family and friends on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, and their childhood, and I don't know how long they're going back. Of course, they took a poll and they talk about how many people, and 91%, but now today only 86%.
Right.
So that's not a drastic change there, but a change.
It's a change.
It's a change.
And it could continue to increase. That percentage will increase.
Ever how you look at it.
Yeah.
All right. Buy gifts for friends or family from 89% to 86%.
Yeah.
So that's
about
a big
the same.
change. All right. Put up a Christmas tree. 92% has dropped to 79%.
Oh,
79%. You know, I mean, you go buy homes and there's no Christmas tree. Now these are people who believe, but they're not celebrating Christmas anymore for whatever reasons, right? Now, send Christmas or holiday cards. Now, that doesn't surprise me that it's dwindled from 81% to 65%. That didn't surprise me a lot.
No, because a lot of people have stopped sending Christmas cards.
Well, we do email. We do email cards, you know, the little...
And to a lot of families, it's a big outlay of money for the stamps and for the cards and that thing. So they don't always send cards anymore.
We don't do written stuff anymore. No. You know, we don't do written thank you cards. We just do text, or we do emails, or we do the little e-vite, or e-cards, or even invitations. We just evite. We've taken the personalization out of it. So that didn't alarm me at all. I stopped sending Christmas cards a long time ago just because I just didn't.
You stopped.
I just stopped. It was just, I don't know, it was just a lot of trouble. So there you go. Give homemade gifts such as baked goods or crafts has dwindled from, it used to be 66%, now it's 58%. I mean, we don't even cook in the homes much anymore. We go out and eat, right?
Well, what this says, Joyce, is that the traditional Christmas that I grew up with and you grew up with, it is changing so drastically that the traditions are being dropped one by one. And just the little things like baked goods.
Right.
You know, you buy everything. You rarely bake.
People don't bake anymore, right? What's that? All right. Attend religious services on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. Now, this should alarm a pastor, but probably doesn't surprise you much. But 69% used to, and now 54% do. It is a time, I mean, every church, I think, experiences that, you know, Easter and Christmas influx. Yeah. So, I mean, that's
the two-timers.
Great for your statistics of attendance, you know, but the two-timers, that's right. All right, and then those who believe in Santa and believe that he will visit their home dropped, listen, this is a huge one.
Yeah.
From 72% to 31%.
Yeah.
31%. And I know, I mean, I've talked to a lot of people who just say, no, not doing that anymore.
Nope.
Santa's not welcome at my home. All right, and then go caroling from 36% to 16%. That doesn't surprise me either. A lot of people are not going to do that. They're just not going to do it, you know.
Well, people are so busy, and that's one of the reasons. But the other reason is that many churches don't even sponsor caroling anymore. I think we still will have a group go out this year. And
I think we have every year. Yeah.
And we have, but it's congregationally driven. It's some people who are passionate about it, and so they continue to do it, go into the nursing homes and to certain homes that they've picked out where people are shut in.
But think about this. I mean, a lot of churches don't even have choirs anymore.
No,
you know,
that's
so
true.
I mean, we just don't sing for Jesus anymore.
Oh, I remember.
You know, worship is great.
You know, in Georgia, we always had the big living Christmas tree that was about 20 feet high and held 100-something choir members.
Beautiful.
And it would be on the commercials for the major TV stations in Atlanta. As they were talking about the holidays, our living Christmas tree would be on the commercials, and that was pretty awesome.
Well, of course, I miss it at Southeast Christian Church, you know, the big pageant and everything.
Yeah.
So much has changed. So much has changed. We're going to a quick break, but we'll be back with my special guest, Webby Oglesby, my husband, and a preacher. Don't go away. There's more today on Just Ask Joyce as we discuss Christmas changes.
You're watching Just Ask Joyce, where real life and family values connect. Just Ask Joyce is brought to you by Guaranteed Total Construction, Window World, Nans and Crafts Florists, Squire Boone Caverns, and About Face Spa and Salon.
And welcome back to Just Ask Joyce. Again, I'm Joyce Oglesby, your Family Life Fix-It Pro, and I'd love to help you with a relationship. You can write me justaskjoyce@gmail.com. Go to my website, justaskjoyce.com. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. But we are talking about Christmas changes with my husband, Webby Oglesby. He is a pastor at Lincoln Hills Christian Church. We're going to have a Christmas Eve service there. We'd love to have you join us.
Yeah, we're doing 2 services that day.
We're not kicking Christmas out yet.
No, we're going to do it 10 a.m. Normally we have 2 morning services.
Yeah, because it's on Sunday this year.
So we're going to do 10 a.m. and then we're going to do a 5 o'clock Christmas Eve service in the round. That's a cool service.
It is cool.
And anybody, we're open. Come visit with us because we put a stage in the middle and we do everything in candlelight, and it's pretty neat. It'll be a good service.
It'll be a good service. We'd love to have you there.
Yeah,
make sure you say,
absolutely.
Hey, I heard about you on Just Ask Joyce. So there we are. All right, now we're talking about Christmas changes, and I think that we've seen a lot. I know you talked about Madeline Murray O'Hare. You know, kind of started it off with kind of slicing Christ out of our culture, but I think in the last 2 decades, it's really taken on a different complexion. Number one, it's very commercialized, extremely commercialized. And so, we look more for the parties that we can go to, and I mean, I'll just say some people just get real smashed,
Well, it's about shopping.
It's shopping, and of course the retailers love it, but listen, it causes so much stress on people. And that's part of why we're seeing these numbers dwindle is in some of the complaints that they have in this Pew Research Center survey, talking about how much stress it puts on people, and that they are choosing not to celebrate Christmas because it's a financial burden on their budget as well.
Well, a lot of things are very expensive, and you can buy. I know I had 100 and something email advertisements for Black Friday. And then Cyber Monday.
Yes.
And it took me 30 minutes to delete all of those commercials that were coming in on my computer and my iPhone.
They pay dearly for those.
And so the commercialization of it, surely a lot of the stores look forward to Christmas, but still that takes away from why we celebrate Christmas.
Well, 51% of this survey that was taken say that it's more of a religious holiday, but 32% say it's more of a cultural holiday, and then 9% say it's both or other. But here was an interesting fact that I found in this survey that is kind of a disturbing fact too, and I think that we all need to assess where we are in this. All right, but they say that adults under age 30 are far less likely than older Americans to say they see Christmas as more of a religious than a cultural holiday. They are also, now listen to this, they are also less likely to attend Christmas religious services and to believe in the virgin birth. Now, what does that say about what job we're doing as parents?
Well, it says a lot about it. I meet people all the time now that have no church background at all. A lot of millennials were not brought up in the church. And so parents who have not made faith an issue in their homes, a good issue, something that they gather around, even at the holidays, but every Sunday, if something better comes up, they don't go to church.
Oh, I know.
And they claim Christ. A lot of people claim to be Christians, but still they don't teach their children. What happens is you have a generational change, and that's what we see happening here that Pew has arrived at, is that change continues generationally. Just like in my generation, we were brought up in church. You didn't miss worship, you didn't miss Christmas Eve, you didn't miss those religious holidays and those religious days. Now, it's not a big deal.
No big deal.
If there's something better going on,
it's not a priority.
We won't go to church.
It's not a priority, and I think that's
it's all showing up now.
Well, it is. It's coming back to bite us in the royal patootie. But you know, but extracting Christ from this idea of Christmas is just nonsensical to me. But I'm going to tell you that parents and grandparents, because a lot of you grandparents are rearing your children now because of the non-commitment that we have to anything anymore. And of course, you know, again, that foundation kind of gets back to, you know, the commitment of marriage. You know, faith is a big part of that. If you have, you know, otherwise, what do you have? Who do you answer to?
I thank God for these grandparents that rear their children, their grandchildren. Because the parents are not responsible for what the kids are, you know, they don't even want to live in their own homes.
So it's not just Christmas changes that we are dealing with in today's culture. It's a lot of changes. We're going to go to a quick break. We'll be back in just a moment after we just kind of say thank you in a way to our sponsors as they share with you what they have to offer you. And just tell them just as Joyce sent you when you do call them, all right? Don't go away. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am Joyce Oglesby, Family Life Fix-It Pro, and this is where real life and family values connect right here on the Just Ask Joyce show. I would love to help you fix a relationship, but I can't unless you write me. But I can tell you I do it in concert with the Lord, so if you don't want Him involved, then don't write me. All right, but if you would like for me to help you with a problem, write me. Jason will have the number. You can call me, and he'll have my email address up there. But here's one from a listener. She says, I don't like Christmas with my husband's family. It's our year to go there, and I dread it. There is no peace or harmony, only tension. His mother and sister don't like me, and I usually am left alone while my husband visits with everyone else. Would it be horrible for me to tell him I don't want to go and just stay home this year? Well, I tell you what, I'll address that on my website and my blog, so make sure that you go there. There it is. Jason's got it up. JustAskJoyce.com. JustAskJoyce.com. Go to that for Joyce's Fix. Check out the blog, and you'll have your answer. And it'll be interesting. We're going to run to a quick break, and we're going to come back more with my sweetheart, Webby Oglesby, and we're going to talk about Christmas changes, and we're going to kind of turn it around and talk about the positive side of it in just a moment. Don't go away. I'm loving these flowers. They are wonderful, Nans and Crafts. You always do a wonderful job. Call them and tell them Just Ask Joyce sent you, all right? Listen, on the positive side, we've been talking about Christmas changes, but I'm going to tell you this. In our home, I have Webby Oglesby here, my husband. In our home, it's not going to change.
No,
it's not going to change.
Not.
And I love it because I don't believe it'll ever change in our girls' homes either. You know, because they still celebrate the reason for the season. You know, they have their families in church, not just at, you know, Easter and Christmas. They have their families in church all the time. And so that's a positive. You know, here's the thing. It's not going to change for those of us who don't allow it. Can we say that?
Well, all of life's a decision. And you can, if you're a Christian and you follow Christ and you believe in Him and you are in Him and He's in you, then how in the world can you not celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ? And some people express it really well in books. I know we read the story in Luke 2.
Yeah. And I was going to say, you know, here's one thing, you know, if this has not happened in your home, maybe this is a really good Christmas change for you to start reading the Christmas story to your family. Listen, when you're gathered with everybody, you know, before the meal is done, or I know once it's on the table, everybody wants to eat because they don't want to get cold, but make it a priority to sit down and read this story. And I can tell you, I love, of course, the Holy Bible is one way, but let me tell you, this book we love, and we don't know what happened to the cover of this. This is Walter Wangerin, all right, Wangerin, I believe. The Book of God. You remember that. If you want a fascinating read, it's a novel about the Bible.
It is.
It's fascinating.
He is from a generation of storyteller preachers.
Yes.
And this book, he will tell you it's not based on pure fact, but he brings, like Joseph and Mary, we look at these people sometimes in the Bible as fairy tale kind of people.
Right.
They're real people.
They're real.
And the way he writes about it, because Joseph and Mary are coming to Bethlehem, and
give the people a flavor.
Yeah, and he says this, she says, Joseph, it's time. Mary gasped. Joseph could hear the grinding of her teeth and a deep internal moaning. It's time. It's time. He lifted the wooden bar of the gate, and immediately the donkey entered and walked to the back of the cave where several feed troughs had been carved in the virgin stone. Mary cried out and fell from the donkey. Joseph caught her. Her body astonished him. It was like iron ingots, heavy and very hard. All her muscles doubled down and flexing. With his feet, Joseph kicked together a huge pile of clean straw. He laid Mary there. He laid her down in such a way that her robe became her bedding, covering all the straw beneath her. Suddenly, Mary threw back her head, bent her torso up at the belly, and then crouched forward, howling, "Oh, Joseph!" For the second time that night, Joseph felt completely helpless. His face was on fire with fear and foolishness. He had no midwife.
Right,
It was just Mary and Joseph.
It was just Mary.
This carpenter with these rough hands.
See, he really does make it come to life. So pick you up a copy, and of course, and you can also pick up the audio copy of that, and it's just wonderful. And put it in your car and just, read about the Book of God all year long. It's great, but just share it with your family. And guys, thank you, baby, for coming today.
I'm glad to be
Christmas change. It will never change in your heart if you don't let it, all right? Don't let Christ escape your Christmas. You make sure that he's the focal point of your Christmas. You impart that to your children and to your grandchildren, and for generations, they will too, all right? Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas, baby. And guys, you join me next time, and you have yourself a blessed, happy Christmas. Now, happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
From Just Ask Joyce. And in the meantime, I'm in battle for his cause.